Yeah, assalamu alaikum. This is Brother Clifton Raheem Bradley from out of Chicago, the United States of America. This video, and there will probably be five or four parts, is to learn about Islam and the misconceptions of Islam and why Islam is hated by a lot of people in the Western world and globally. And the COINTELPRO probe about spies going to Islamic mosques and Ramadan and why we pray five times a day, and the misconceptions of media and Ramadan Mubarak. This may be after Ramadan, before Ramadan, and you can use this as a case study to know what we were talking about in year 2025 about Islam. And it's not to convert anybody, this is to give knowledge. And I hope to get half a knot from it. And Salam alaikum.
Defeated by someone who you thought you were superior than, and they
Yes.
kicked your butt. And now it's a mutual hate. For these Christians that don't understand, look up the history of Spain under Muslim rule. These people had privileges and stuff they didn't have under Spanish rule. They didn't. So Islam is hated because it's a religion of progress. When they lie and say Islam was spread by the sword, show us the people, show us the countries, show us the nations that were conquered by the sword that didn't provoke Islam or didn't provoke this. They can't, because they lies and machinations, and all this is did to keep stirring up hate for the third and most populous religion that's going to be in the future. You see, it's a mutual hate.
So it is established that Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam was not an evil man. He was a pious man. He was a prophet of God. But my question is, when they make the condemnation of Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, why do they not make a condemnation of Constantine, who held up a symbol like a cross that was shaped in a cross and said, "We shall conquer with this symbol"? I would like to ask, some people don't know who Constantine is, and can you address that?
Constantine was one of the Roman emperors.
Okay.
You know, he's a madman. You put it like that. You know, because them people went wrong wasn't right in the head. A lot of you know, Nero, one of them burned all the Rome.
Nero.
Yeah. So you can compare this, and I'm gonna give you a brief example, and this should illuminate what's really going on. Hitler killed 5.6 million people.
Yes.
Mostly Jews, but then you had other Romans and Gypsies and other people, black people who were in Europe, those who were handicapped or those who they considered undesirable, were murdered. King Leopold of Belgium killed in between 15 to 25 million black people in the Democratic Republic of the Congo, as it's known today.
Yes.
He's a hero.
Yes.
You see what I'm saying? Hitler is demonized. What both of them did wasn't right. This man, in the 10-year period, killed 15 to 25 million people, forced to work on a rubber plantation. If you didn't have a quota, they would chop your hand. They had piles of arms and hands stacked up. The comparison is, what I'm trying to bring to light is when they saying all of this about the Prophet Muhammad, you know, just to distort the great work he has done, is to distort him. He's not the founder of Islam. It's God. This is the misconception.
Yes.
You know, they used to call us Mohammedans after him, like Christians after Christ. No, we are Muslims. He clarified that, but they still continue that until the late 18th century. when they,
Yes.
started doing what they had to make it, correcting that. But it is the mutual hate of this man and what he has done. He was the last law-giving prophet. The
Yes.
laws of Islam, the rights of the child, the rights of the family, the rights of the female, the societal rights, judicial rights. Islam created all of how to live, how to eat, how to take care of orphans, how to take care of your poor, how to divide up if someone dies, who gets what, this and that within the family. All of these laws now. Christian nations have copied some of these laws, but
Mm-hmm.
you hate Islam. You don't like the flavor, but you like the
Yeah.
seasoning. You see what I'm saying? Or the
Yes.
style, but you like the seasoning. And this is why there's a mutual hate. This is why they keep saying this. These are misconstrued lies. These are lies they promulgated and they pushed all over the world to distort what Islam is, first and foremost. And secondly, they trying to then they say peace and blessings be upon the Prophet Muhammad was a pedophile. He is with an 8-year-old girl or
Aisha.
something like that, and
Mm-hmm.
this and that. And but they don't talk about Constantine and the garbage they was doing in Rome. They don't talk about the Greek men lusting at the men. They don't talk about other countries in Europe where they practice marrying young women, 8 years old, 12 years old, and this and that, and actually, did things with these young ladies, these
Yes.
babies, I call them, which in Islam, sometimes a rich person would marry his daughter or
Yes.
promise his daughter who was 8 or whatever until she came of age to this person. See what I'm saying?
Interesting. They don't even question the nobles when they used to marry their cousins or their brothers. They don't even question
None
that.
of that. None of that.
Blue
Breaking
bloods.
the women. Breaking the women up in buildings. Your sister's supposed to be the queen. And all of a sudden she come up missing. You have bricked this woman in the building in the castle.
Mm-hmm.
Killed her, bricked her in, or just threw her in there, knocked out and bricked her in to where she is. That's where she died.
Yes. Yes.
And
Yes.
but you always got something. You always have something to say about Islam, and 9 out of 10 times it's a lie, and it's
Yes.
a misconstrued conception. And what they do is they propagate it, they spread it. It's just like what's going on in Ukraine.
Yes.
Did you see what Donald Trump did to
Yeah,
Israel?
I saw it in people but recap people that did not see it. I may be looking at this in the history, what he did.
He checked that man. He checked him because, under the Biden administration and the previous administration, this man had carte blanche. He got American weapons. They have made this bum a millionaire, a B movie actor. We had
Yes.
a show in English, it's called Serving Up the People.
Hmm?
And in that show, he was a school teacher. He didn't like the way the government was ran. He said, well, why
Yes.
don't we have this and that government? And in the movie, they voted for him. In the series, they voted for him and he became the president. They
Yeah.
made him president off that series, named his party Serving Up the People. And now the people in Ukraine hate that man. He's one of the most hated men in Ukraine for what he has done in Ukraine. But you don't
didn't know
see
that.
this, you don't know that. And so Trump had to check him because they made him into a choosy beggar. A millionaire. This man got billions. He got villas in Italy and this and that. The money, you can't account for the 350 billion sent to him. You see?
Yeah.
But you want to demonize Muslims. And the dirt you do, you hide and you conceal, and it's okay. You sweep it up under the rug, And so, the problem with Islam will always be demonized by vile people because they're going to always hate Islam because it's the religion of reform. They see their children adopting and becoming Muslims and this and that. And you got something going on in England where they're saying the Muslims are taking over cities and practicing
Islam
Sharia.
got Islam for the UK.
No, and you can go to the wars. You can say what you want. People who are military or not common sense. The thing that went on in Iraq the first time and the second time, come on. You know, it's not because I'm a Muslim. It is because it's the truth. I sit and watch what they were doing.
Yes.
You know, and then they say, you know, they demonize, they drop tons of depleted uranium on Yugoslavia in '99, brother. I was over there. I was over there in Europe, not in Yugoslavia. I was over in Europe. You know, uranium has a half-life of 4 billion years. You got tracts of the desert in Kuwait. You got tracts of desert and cities in Iraq that are messed up today. You got cities in ex-Yugoslavia that are messed up. They peacekeeping force were dying from cancers and different type of maladies. They never had it before. The people there are still affected. They dying today. This was a war crime.
Yes.
To see, you know, these some wicked people. So, you know, Islam, man, is going to always be a religion that's been, other people tell it or know or think they know we're distorted and this and that, because first of all, it's different. People act different. The people pray different. The people are different. They majority mind their own business, do what they got to do, and it's a problem for you because they don't dress like you dress. They don't drink alcohol and eat pork. They don't run around chasing women like you do. So it's a problem. You ain't like us. You like us, but you ain't. You know.
Yeah, you know what, Brother Ronnie? I would like to ask you, the news media and media in general, social media, television, send out negative messages about Islam. In video games, they show Muslims as being terrorists. On a cartoon called The Simpsons, they show a bearded man with a kufi on saying, and he's doing his beard like that, saying, beware of the bearded ones. Beware of the bearded ones. And in movies, depicted Muslims as being evil, corrupt, and terrorists. Why? Why would they send this type of message utilizing the social media and media platforms? Why? I'd like to ask you, what have we done if we pray 5 times a day? Okay. If we go through Ramadan, okay, we get up in the middle of the night and pray Tahajjud prayer. Why have they demonized Islam to the point to where things in the media make Islam look like a damned religion, and we praying 5 times a day? Can you expand on that, brother?
Well, the devil always try to hide his hand. You know, he second one. Give me one second.
Yes. See, the devil always try. I'm looking at a cartoon for people that don't know. In the United States of America, there's a cartoon.
Headphones low.
Okay. There's a cartoon called The Simpsons. Okay. And it has been coming on for so many years. I'm looking at something. And what happened is Bart Simpson which is a character in The Simpsons, and they're showing a man looking like a Muslim with a kufi on, and his beard, and they're saying, beware of the bearded ones. Beware of the bearded ones. And then they're depicting Muslims in a bad light, is showing them as terrorists and demonizing them. And the media and social media is very powerful. You know what? What is the purpose of that? Can you address that, brother? And what do you think about that? Can't hear you, brother. Cannot hear you. Cannot hear you. Can't hear you. Okay. Cannot hear you, brother. So, What happened? Come on. I say I cannot hear you, brother. So, government must be playing something on his end. And you know what? I don't know what happened to his headphones. And the thing is, there's so many things that are going on in the society to demonize Islam. And I would say that it is not warranted. It's not warranted to do that. It's not warranted to demonize a people that are praying 5 times a day through Fajr, Asa, Maghrib, Zora, and Isha. It's not justified to demonize someone where they're praying, and one of their obligations is if they can go to Mecca to make their Hajj and follow in the footsteps of Hagar. The enemy is busy. You know what? That is his job, and I'm talking about the devil. And the devil has agents that acts on his behalf.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you now.
Okay, cool.
What had happened? The enemy messing with you too, brother.
Yeah. It's too much. Too much info going down. But
they say they plan, but Allah plans, and Allah, subhanallah, Allah is the best planner.
Yes, sir.
Of all.
But getting back to your question, there, they use the mass media to misconstrue and hide the evil that they have done, not only to Muslims, but to people around the world. You see what I'm saying? The evil that they're doing in Ukraine, you don't know about it, you only getting piecemeal information, but they telling you what's going on because they control the media. The same thing with Zelensky. Now you got newspapers talking about, it's the first time ever that the president had, of the United States had to check somebody, blah, blah, blah. It was horrible. No, he put the man in his place. You see what I'm saying? So when it comes to us, when it comes to Muslims, you see Return to the Future back in 1984, with the McLaurin car, the guy and the boy Fox, who's the actor. They had a Muslim terrorist shooting at them. You see what I'm saying? You got to look at who runs the media.
They project images.
Yeah, you look at who runs the media, and then you understand some of the things that's going on around the world, or some things in the Middle East. You don't get the real scope or the full picture of what's happening because they give you distorted information. They've been giving us distorted information about Ukraine for 10 years. The problem in Ukraine started in 2013, 2014. But now all you hear today is Russia, 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 Russia. As when it comes to Islam, you got to demonize a religion that you hate to make it unbelievable and to make it hateful. You got to say hateful things, you got to lie, you got to distort, and then you got to get certain people who were Muslims that became discontent. Because they couldn't live the Western lifestyle they dream of. I want to be with women. I want cars. I want this and that. Or I got a certain lifestyle that I'm living that don't correspond with the religion. So I leave the country. I go to Sweden and I burn a Quran. You see all these people, now and I'm a sausage eater again, or you wasn't when you was there. You became that. You became a lot of different things that you weren't because of your lifestyle and because you could not practice that in your country of religion. And then you look at the Shah of Iran's family in California. You look at the people. You got different types of committees. You got people from Kuwait. You got people from Iran. You got people from different parts of the Middle East that are living in the West off the money of their country that their people stole millions. And
who are demonizing because what happened in Iran was reform.
Yes.
They didn't like it. They didn't like it because, America controlled Iran
Yes.
until the Shah got sick and had to leave.
Yes.
And then the Ayatollah rolled out of France to sit on the throne in Iran. You didn't like that.
Yes.
But right now, you got to deal with real people who naturalized jointly the oil companies that were operating out of there. You see, you don't like it because now you got a people that want to lay you low for the dirt you've been doing to them since World War One.
Yes.
You came in and took over. Then you and the British and this and that. So you demonize a people that fight back from tyranny. They fight back from everything you've done to them. And so you have to demonize them to make them evil, to make yourself look good. Or we fighting them because of such and such and such. When you tell the real story and people see it ain't like what you say it is, now you become questionable. And that's what you don't like. So you use your mass media to keep distorting, to keep lying, to keep promulgating these half-truths about Islam to make yourself look good and to hide the evil that you've been doing to not just Muslims, but to the people around the world.
Yes.
The evilness of these people, man, in Europe, especially Europe. You got the Front National, which is the National Front, ran by Jean-Marie Le Pen. He passed. His daughter took over. He passed about 2 months ago.
Yes.
He fought in Algeria, killing the Algerians when they were fighting for independence. And he formed a party, a racist party. I lived in France. I was there when I wasn't there when he formed the party, but I found out about the party and I saw them. I was in a town outside of Marseille, close to the airport. And they had a rally.
Yes.
They had old Citroen. You know the Citroen cars? French cars, the old ones look like the
Not
old.
familiar with that term. Go ahead.
Okay, Citroen. They had the old cars, all white cars.
Yes.
Like extremists. White armbands on. They marching through town. I'm standing there looking at them. They look at me, I'm looking at you. What's up? Run over here, I'm gonna give you some business. But at the same time, these are the organizations that her daddy killed innocent people. He tortured them. France was getting $500 billion a year from the 29 ex-Francophone countries in Africa. They don't tell you about that, the exploitations and everything and this and that. So you got the demonized people. They don't know about King Leopold, how many people he killed. They lie, maybe 9 to 10 million, 15 to 25 million people he killed in the Congo. And he a hero.
Yes.
So you look at the machinations, Islam gonna always be a threat to the wicked.
Yes.
They got to lie. They got to lie on you. They got to demonize you. They got to produce terrorists. But guess what? Who financing the terrorists today?
Taliban. I get it, brother.
NED, USA. They financing the terrorists. They are financing the disturbances you're seeing around the world. Who run the biolabs, the 430-some biolabs around the world? And what do you need? One country need with 430-some biolab in different countries.
Yes.
The avian bird flu. They set up a laboratory in Thailand, in Indonesia.
Yes.
They set up a lab there.
Yes.
Each country that has a biolab, a U.S. biolab, has to sign a non-disclosure agreement. Do you know that they do not let their health officials in these countries into these laboratories to see what they're doing?
Yeah.
And they are run by the U.S. military. Yeah. So you understand what I'm getting? You demonize, but you the devil. You are the devil. It's not your race. It's not your color. You are devil by the devil's work that you're doing. You're doing the work. This is called the art of Satan.
Yes.
You're doing. And that's what you're doing. You know, you get into people's minds, a subliminal seduction. You like a serpent, the most subtle beast of the field. You creep in. You see what I'm saying? They infiltrate your organizations and everything. And so then you demonize.
My question to you, brother, is they have done everything in their power to try to decrease the number of people that consider Islam and Muslims by dropping bombs, by pitting one country against the other, Saddam Hussein and Iran, by putting out disinformation on social media, television, radio, magazines. Okay, and even the Simpsons cartoon when they say beware of the bearded ones. Why has the enemy of Islam not been able to extinguish Islam to what your grandfather was doing? Any message for your grandchildren? Great.
Because I happen to have known someone who was in the NSA.
Okay.
All right? And they don't know what they know now. I've been in their building with him. Did you see it?
Yes, sir.
And they...
Some people don't know what NSA is.
National Security Administration. And when I walked up in there and seen that, it was like my whole life. Wow. They got video screens. I mean, from here to 35th Street.
Those street cameras, right?
Those are the screens like you watch on a computer.
Right.
All right? They got a room where they listen to conversations all around the country. All right? That's why I can say what I said. But they let me go because he was an important person. They figured if he was pregnant, it was all right. All right, they made a mistake, but I never forgot that.
Well, wait a minute, wow.